you feel that? Why do you feel that? In your, like, it's a subjective conversation, so why do you feel it?
Yeah, I think there's, a little, just, I guess, more hatred that goes towards each other, on both sides of the ball. So, it's just a little extra that goes into the game for sure.
Obviously, last year was a weird year, your fifth year here. Is it hard to believe that this is the last one, or has it felt like a long time coming? Where's your mind at on that?
Yeah, last season was probably the longest season I can remember, just feeling-wise, obviously, with everything going on. And this year it just seemed like it flew by. So, it came quick. When I made the decision to come back last year, it always seems like a year's time at the end of the season. Then seems like that's a long time out, and it seems like that when you're a second-year guy, you're a first-year guy, and you think you got five years left. In my case, 6 years left. It seems like a long time, and you have a ton of time till you get there, and then it always flies by. So, it's kind of just something I try to pass on to the younger guys too.
Nash had to play a lot with Damian down a little bit. What have you seen out of him, just where he's at and how he's kind of grown in that range?
Yeah, Nash's jump was, it's evident in all the kind of, I guess, the D-line guys that kind of they make that jump there. They're not very good, at one point, and then all of a sudden there's a practice where it clicks. For him, it was the spring game 2 years ago. That was kind of his little coming out party, and then he never looked back. So, it happens for the guys that are, that have the, God-given abilities, and then, they also, to go with it, have the dedication, the cerebral side of it, and the want to. For those guys, it's going to click. It's just a matter of when. So, for him, yeah, he's obviously been progressing ever since that spring game 2 years ago.
The record isn't what you wanted, but on the defensive side of the ball, do you have some satisfaction with the foundation you're kind of leaving it, with the guys that are in the program? What's your feeling on it, where it's at going forward?
Yeah, I think, they'll have a good core of guys back, and obviously these first 3 years with Coach Chin's foundation's definitely been laid, as far as just improving year by year. And, so I think they'll be in a good place for next year and have a good core of guys too. So, proud of that aspect of it, I guess.
A lot of guys have to make the decision here coming up that you made last year about whether to come back or not. What kind of advice can you give them as they're kind of weighing the pros and cons of to come back to another season?
Yeah, obviously, it's something you have to really want to do. If it's something you're dragging your feet on, you're doing for a lot of reasons other than you really wanting to. I guess it's going to be a miserable year for you. So there's a lot of work obviously that goes into it, and those guys know what it takes. So all those guys weighing those decisions, I think they know what goes into it, and they know what to expect for another year if they sign up for it. So you just really got to have the want to, though.
What do you think has defined your senior class?
Say that again.
What do you think has defined or been characteristic?
Those of us that are still here, resiliency for sure is a word that comes to mind. Been through a lot, but those dudes that were here from day one, however many of us there are, and that are still here, those are some of the most resilient people I know, and it's going to serve them well later in life. JoJo and I have talked about this, but there's not a lot of things later in life that are going to be harder than what we've gone through here in our time, and just how much this has prepared us for the rest of our lives.
Anything else for Ben?